Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and today we're going to have a look at the Atlantic National Hurricane Centre forecast because we have a very active period coming up. We've got two tropical storms formed in the Atlantic with Marco and Laura, and it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen with those over the next few days. It's quite a rare event that might happen between them with the Fujiwara Effect, I think that's how you pronounce it, in this very, very active hurricane season. We'll start with the Central Pacific though. Got a small disturbance, 30% chance. Again, these disturbances south of Hawaii really don't make much impact as they might develop and then fizzle away, not really affect any land, just maybe some shipping forecasts, etc., but nothing too substantial there. However, we have got a disturbance forming here that's ex-hurricane up there. I can't remember what the name of that one was. Whatever. But here we got a disturbance here. It's got a high percent, 70% chance of forming over the next 5 days, and it's moving eastwards, not north or westwards, so eastwards towards land. So there's a chance that it sort of moves up towards Mexico and could affect these parts up here, which could provide quite significant impacts if it comes along the Mexico coast up towards California. But again, we'll have to see exactly how that forecast shapes up. We'll have to see how it develops and if it develops into a tropical storm / hurricane. But again, it does look like, though, as they said here, conditions will be favourable for gradual development. However, it's expected to be quite slow and it will meander off the coast. So there's a chance it comes onshore, but we don't know at the moment. But again, looking at the Atlantic, a really active season. We're down to M now, which is very significant. It's the earliest time we ever reached M, I think by about a week. So very, very active hurricane season. But we haven't had many, or if any, major hurricanes yet. I think we've only reached Cat 1, Cat 2. Again, none of those have actually made landfall. Most have been tropical storms making landfall. So, we're due some major hurricanes now. And there's a chance that we could see it from these two tropical storms here, or this feature, this disturbance. There's a low chance right now, but as it moves across, there will be some favourable conditions and some less favourable conditions. But again, it's quite difficult to see how these tropical waves develop until they get towards the mid-Atlantic, and then we will see how they develop a bit more. But again, we'll have to keep an eye on this. Again, we keep getting tropical wave after tropical wave. So again, this could be another hurricane or tropical storm developing here, but again, we have to keep an eye on that. But we'll first focus in on tropical storm Marco, which is providing tropical storm winds right now to parts of Mexico. And if we have a look at wind speed probabilities, you can see it does merge a bit with Laura. These probability charts will focus on this effect, this merging of the storms potentially, when we look at Laura in a minute. But Marco right now is just to the northeast coast of parts of Mexico here, and it's going to pass over, remain fairly strong, and potentially develop into a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico, heading towards Texas and Louisiana. Could be providing some significant impacts there as it makes landfall. It does look like at the moment it's going to head that way. If we look at arrival times of the winds, it looks like early next week, Monday or Sunday, Monday, could be the days it arrives. And if we have a look at warnings and surface winds, you can see right now we've got tropical storm warnings, not particularly widespread tropical storm force winds yet, but again, that is looking like it's going to increase. But if we have a look at the cone, right now it's only looking like it's developed a tropical storm. But again, it's very difficult, and I'll explain why with Laura in a minute, why anything outside of the day or two time frame with these storms is very unpredictable. But we'll now move on to Laura. So if we have a look at Laura, you can see the wind speed probabilities right now. Very high chance of tropical storm winds. It's a much bigger system than Marco, but as it moves in, it sort of merges into the same sort of regions. And if we have a look at warnings and surface right now, quite widespread warnings. No hurricane warnings at the moment, but again, we could be seeing that very soon. If we have a look at arrival times of winds, you can see but it arrives about a day afterwards, after Marco. So at Monday, it's just passing through Florida while Marco's making landfall in Texas, Louisiana. So they are likely to interact, which is the important thing. If we have a look at warning cones, static images, if this will load, and here we are. As you can see, it does develop into a hurricane, likely at the moment, moving into the Gulf of Mexico. And you can see it's making landfall on Thursday, whereas Marco's making landfall on Tuesday, looking quite likely. So this is the centre. When you're having the arrival times, that's where the outermost bands of the storm is. So the outermost bands are about a day behind Marco. Um, but now we'll get on to the Fujiwara effect, which is why this could become a very dangerous scenario, because you can see both tracks are very similar, and they look like they're not going to collide directly, but they're going to be close enough that they actually will start to influence themselves. Do you know, with low pressure, because that's basically what a tropical storm is, it's a very deep area of low pressure within tropical waters. So you've got instability, and then warm waters to fight energy, great big convection basically. Low pressure, it moves anti-clockwise in the northern hemisphere, so it's sort of moving in this direction, and as they interact, the winds actually pull them together, and they actually change course and intensity depending on what the other storm does. So what normally happens with the Fujiwara effect scenario, there's not been that many, and they've normally been out in the middle of the ocean, but this one's going to be close to land, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But normally what happens is one storm is dominant. The one that's dominant has more strength, starts to influence the other storm more, and stops that from developing as much, and can consume it, and which could bolster the initial storm. That's why both of them at the moment are only categorised as tropical storms. Maybe Laura being more likely to become a hurricane, because one of them's probably going to be a bit weaker than forecast, and one of them's probably going to be a bit stronger than forecast as they interact. And it could change course as the winds blow them around. It could change course, because as you know, hurricanes are so strong, tropical storms are so strong and intense, they even put a dent in the atmosphere. So they actually changed the upper level winds as they move through, which again, with Marco doing that, it could affect what happens to Laura, and it could allow it to develop more. So again, it's going to be very, very interesting scenario. What's going to happen here? Again, they could completely not interact at all, and they both go on their merry way, remaining as tropical storms or low category hurricanes, providing significant impacts, but nothing too major. Or one could rapidly develop, one could rapidly weaken, or they could even merge into one. But again, we'll have to keep an eye on that, so keep up to date with your local forecasters, your national forecasters as well. And I'll probably be posting some more videos on this as well. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed Sky New, and I'll see you again for another video.